What is going on, guys? Wrong12 here, and I'm going to be reviewing Ultimate Spider-Man issue 38 for you guys today. So in the previous issue, it left off with Venom turning up to Peter's school with the Venom symbiote, ready to take down Peter Parker. And Peter went out there ready to face his fears, ready to face this monster that he's created in his hooded jacket, and it looked awesome. So we're going to see that play out in this issue, and of course we're going to be seeing a whole lot of other things, so let's jump into it. The issue begins with us getting a dialogue from Richard Parker himself on this video recording that Peter keeps watching, and it's pretty much talking about cancer, and the first recorded form of cancer was in 1600 BC, way back in the Egyptian times. He's pretty much talking about the evolution of cancer, how we got like better technology, how we got a better understanding of the human body and stuff like that, and now he's there to try and obliterate cancer off the face of the earth for good. So as we move on throughout this dialogue, something hit me. Right at the end there, he says that he doesn't want another kid to watch his father die and not understand why it happened, etc. But that's really ironic, because that's actually what pretty much happened to Peter Parker. His father died, his parents died, and he still doesn't understand completely why that happened. He just has a general idea about it, and I think that's really ironic and actually quite devastating to see that, because you never really think about it like that until it's just mentioned, and I think that's horrific. Now moving on, because I kind of feel like I'm missing all of the action right now, we get Peter grabbing the tendril off Venom, and it shows that he means business, he's serious. He knows that his friend is in that symbiote, and he doesn't know whether it's Eddie voluntarily in the symbiote or whether the symbiote has just got a hold of him and it's not letting him go. So Peter is going all out. You could see that when the tendril was launched at him, Peter literally just caught it in his hand. Now what you've got to remember is that this is all happening just outside his school. Peter's literally just walked outside out of his lesson to face this monster. I also love just how Peter has to warn Eddie about how strong he truly is, and he even says, "Eddie, I don't want to slap you one." And I think that's just awesome how Peter knows that he can probably take down this creature, but he doesn't want to do it with Eddie on the inside. So he's telling Eddie to back down because he doesn't want to do something that he's going to regret. Peter also doesn't have his web shooters with him, so right now he's kind of at a disadvantage. So Peter just gets out of there because he's got to try and get Venom into a place where they can fight without hurting any civilians and stuff like that. But I think one of the scary things about Venom's character is that even Peter Parker notices this as well. When Peter is swinging away, or running away should I say, Venom is literally swinging in the exact same technique, the exact same character as how Spider-Man swings, and that's obviously because Spider-Man wore the symbiote, but that's something that's really hard to comprehend, that it's pretty much copying everything about him. And that's scary. Something that you'll also notice is that these panels on the page right now, on the screen right now, are actually very reminiscent of the Ultimate Spider-Man game when you first encounter Venom right at the beginning of the game. If you remember, Spider-Man and Venom both dive at each other and land on top of a car in the middle of the street. You can also see the electricity wire that's hanging over the top of them, and of course landing on the ground for Venom to stand on, exactly the same as in the video game. The bad thing about these guys landing in the middle of the street is that there are innocent civilians down there that could get hurt, especially this guy in the car, who is still in the car whilst Venom is lying on top of it. And Peter honestly doesn't know what to do. All he knows is that it's going to be his fault if someone gets hurt. Now Eddie looks to be incapacitated, he looks like he's okay, he looks like he's escaping from the symbiote, he looks like he's knocked out. And as Peter goes to help him, the symbiote just devours Peter. And I honestly have to say that the rain actually adds to the effect of the drama and like the fear of the Venom symbiote in this issue. Especially when the person inside the symbiote is Eddie, who's out for vengeance for Peter lying to him. And of course, his head's a little bit messed up right now, but Peter has worn the symbiote before, so he knows how it can mess around with your head and stuff like that. So that added to Eddie's anger towards Peter is amplifying that anger, making him want to kill him. Now as you can see on screen, the symbiote has just taken in Peter and surrounded him in complete darkness. But Peter is not having any of it. He bursts out of there in great fashion. Love the colours as well when he does that. And Peter picks up a tyre and just starts beating the crap out of Venom with it. Like, tyres are heavy enough already, so imagine it being launched at you. So one of the most inevitable things to happen in New York City, and especially in comic books with Spider-Man, is that the police turn up. And of course, the police aren't going to be able to take on Venom, but they're actually aiming the guns at him and start firing at him. So Peter has to get out of there, and he sits on the wall watching Venom step back into this electrical wire, just like the Ultimate Spider-Man game. And you can just see the bullets piercing through Venom's skin, piercing through his symbiote, and of course we know that the bullets don't exactly hurt him, but they're still going to have enough force to knock him back. and when these guns are actually going off, you can see just how many police officers are firing upon him. And again, we get this incredible dialogue from Richard Parker over this chaos. And I think this incredible dialogue from Richard Parker over this situation is absolutely spot on in what he's saying, that when you see bad people, you can stare at them for years and years and you still won't understand why they are doing it, what they're doing it for, and some people are just their own worst enemy, and that is the case with Eddie Brock. So after all of this, Peter watches on as Venom, aka Eddie, gets obliterated by this electric wire and he literally just turns into dust. We don't know where he's gone, we don't know what's happened to him, but Peter has to get out of there because obviously he's not in his Spider-Man costume, so the police don't recognize him. And as I've said in the earlier issues and in the earlier reviews, mutants aren't really that popular, so these police officers believe that Peter is a mutant, so they instantly start firing upon him without even realizing that he's in fact Spider-Man. The mutants thing will actually be addressed further in the future, but until we get up to that issue, which is almost around the 100 mark, you're just going to have to wait. Now, as the issue is coming to a close, as we come up to the end of the issue, Richard Parker is talking about how people want to be better than how they actually are. They want to be better than what they are, and they'll do anything to get it without even earning it. So obviously Peter's earned that right to be Spider-Man. He's earned that right to have these superpowers, but people want more of that, and that's of course going to be addressed again further in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. Kong even pointed out earlier in the Ultimate Spider-Man issues that people are actually trying to get powers. So first it was Spider-Man, then it was Green Goblin, and now there's Electro, and then there's Sandman, and then there's Vulture, and all of these crazy things happening. And more people are just showing up with superpowers out of the blue, and eventually they're going to take over the human race, basically. That was what Kong was saying in the earlier issues, and he's kind of right, because now we've got Venom as well. Like, all of these supernatural abilities are coming out of nowhere, and it's all of a sudden the Ultimate Universe, and that's only going to carry on. So guys, that is the end of this issue. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Sorry for the Ultimate Spider-Man comic reviews not being up for a few days. That was mainly because I was at an event, and the video for that will be up tomorrow. So all the music that you guys like in the background of my videos, I actually went to a festival similar to Tomorrowland. Some of you guys might know what that is. It's pretty much like a music festival, and all of the DJs who created that type of music are there and everything, and it was awesome. I got loads of footage for it. So guys, you can check that out tomorrow when I upload it. But until then, my final verdict for this issue is an 8 out of 10. We got some awesome action between Spider-Man and Venom, but there wasn't a whole lot of character development. We didn't see Mary Jane, really. We didn't see hardly any of the school, even though we were fighting in the school ground. I thought it was awesome how Peter noticed that Venom was picking up specific techniques, the way Spider-Man swings, Spider-Man's characteristics and stuff like that was awesome to see. And the dialogue coming from Richard Parker over all of the action was brilliant, because it really made you feel for Peter. Just how Richard said that he didn't want another kid to witness his parents dying but not understand why, and that is pretty much just how Peter Parker is feeling about his parents dying and not fully understanding why, and it really gets to you. So the dialogue was spot on in this comic. So guys, 8 out of 10. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and of course, if you want to know what I'm doing in my free time when I'm not editing these videos, then follow me on Instagram. For more, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and I will see you all in my next video.